Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we are taking out the Kamikaze R. This was a event reward ship. It's a tier 5 Japanese destroyer. It is basically a slightly different variant of the Kamikaze, the tier 5 Japanese destroyer. Differences are it has a very nice skin that comes with it that reduces detectability, that doesn't cost you anything. It's a little bit slower, which is surprising. Sheer top speed, it is a hair slower. It has the same torpedoes. The torpedo range is 7 kilometers. Your detectability range, without the stealth upgrade from the captain, is 6 kilometers. So you have a 1 kilometer stealth range, and by that I mean you can shoot your torps in order to hit something and still not be spotted, which is the idea that you want to be trying to do as a Japanese destroyer. That is the entire point of Japanese destroyers. If you are trying to charge straight at an enemy at 3 kilometers, you are doing it wrong, or you've gotten yourself in a bad position, which happens. I love that special camo. Some people think it's silly, but I think it's pretty cool. Reminds me of a Japanese painter, the Katsuhiko Hokusai. Did the big tidal wave painting. Anyhow, I digress. One thing I like about the Kamikaze R is the torpedoes have an extremely fast reload rate. You have 3 turrets of 2, and again the range is 7 kilometers. However, because of the reload time, you can basically spam these torpedoes. There's no reason to be particularly patient with them. By the time that an enemy sees a torp and tries to avoid it, you're already firing your next round. It's pretty fantastic in that regard. Here I'm going straight up to take the cap, which is free points. You should never pass up free points. And I'm not going up to mid, but I will drop a bunch of torpedoes in there in the hopes that I might catch somebody who is stupid enough to go in there. The other nice thing about these torpedoes, and you'll hear me say this a lot about torpedoes, is they are extremely fast. I believe they are a base of 68 knots, which is some of the fastest torpedoes in the game, without any kind of upgrades or whatnot. I would strongly recommend not getting the speed upgrade on the captain's perk. You have 1 kilometer of stealth range with these torpedoes, and getting the extra 5 knots, I believe, is not worth it, because that means you will now have to get into visible range in order to fire your torpedoes at something and reasonably have a chance to hit them. So it's not worth it, in my opinion. Maybe some other people have better luck with that, but at that point I might as well be playing a US destroyer where I have to get in visible range before I can hit something with my torpedoes. So keeping in mind that I have a detection range of 6 kilometers, there are 4 enemy destroyers, specifically the Anshin and Nicholas, which are essentially the same ship, are US gunboats, and they are very dangerous to me. Here comes the first Anshin. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that, but I really don't care. We have a Mahan, which is a US destroyer, and he is unloading on these, and I will be more than happy to assist. Here comes the Nicholas, so now we have both gunships front and center getting into a destroyer gunfight. And you know that there's torps in the water somewhere, so you do not want to stand still. I am now in smoke, in the Mahan smoke, and I am abusing it viciously. I saw him pop this smoke and instantly wanted to get into that smoke so that I could sit here and fire my guns. Oh, here we got some torpedoes. Let's give it a little bit of power and just turn ever so slightly and back it right back off so that I don't pop out of the smoke. So now they've used all their smokes. I'm just going to sit here and wait for them to show themselves. If this Mahan gets out of the way, I might be able to fire some blind torpedoes into that smoke and maybe possibly luck out and hit something. But the Mahan is completely not paying attention. I have popped my own smoke now because I assumed that his smoke was almost worn out. Now that the Mahan's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and shoot out my torpedoes. And I have a whopping 40 seconds to wait until I can get my next set of torpedoes. So like I said, very, very fast. To give you a frame of reference, on a Kagero, it's about a minute and a half, depending on your talents and upgrades. He's going to dodge those, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep firing my guns. I just disabled them, and my torpedoes hit something else. There's another destroyer in there that I just nailed. Fine by me. I'm still hiding in my smoke. I have great visibility on all these. I'm just going to keep firing my guns. Not the most powerful guns, but guns are guns. They just collided. Wow, what a cluster. That's the one I hit accidentally with my torpedo earlier. Let's see if we can finish him off. Yep, there we go. There's my first kill. I just did a wide spread of my torpedoes. Just hoping I hit anything. That Anshan is, I think, out of my range. Nope, I'm getting spotted. My smoke has worn out, and I am in a very bad position. So I got to take a risk here and just gun it and pull a complete 180 here. Except that there's a Fuso right there who just widely missed me. He's got a whole bunch of torpedoes already coming in at him, but you know what? I have a short reload. Let's go ahead and keep firing. You're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Now I've got this Kamikaze that's trying to chase me. He has a lot of friends behind him, but I am spotted already. And because he's chasing me, I can't get outside of that 6-kilometer range. So he is basically forcing me to turn and actually shoot back at him. He has popped his smoke for whatever reason. And I need to be very careful not to beach myself. I need to pull a hard starboard. Keep firing. That Kamikaze got a little greedy trying to run me down. And now he is widely exposed. He has just shot all of his torpedoes at that cruiser, the Königsberg. However, he does not have a smoke to hide behind now. The Königsberg easily dodged all of his torpedoes. Well done. And I'm just now realizing on the map that we have a couple guys that went straight up the middle. 3 cruisers going up the middle. That is not good for me. Cruisers, as I've said many times before, are specifically designed to kill destroyers, and especially that Cleveland. That Cleveland has a lot of very fast, very accurate guns. They are notoriously good for killing destroyers. I cannot tell you how many destroyers I have killed with just my Cleveland. I really don't want to fight him. But that flank needs to be taken care of. So we're going to go in anyhow and see what we can do to help. Well, he did take some good shots there, so he is hurt badly. Let's see if we can help finish him off. He's at a bad angle and at a bad range for torpedoes. So I'm just going to try and stick to guns. There he goes. He's dead. Okay. So now I'm not detected because I'm hiding behind this island, and that Mahan is really not paying attention, so I have to cut my engine so that I don't get friendly killed. Again, situational awareness, people. Keep an eye on your surroundings. Now I know by firing my guns here, I'm getting myself detected. These cruisers are really not paying much attention to me. While I'm firing, I'm paying very careful attention to what direction their guns are pointed. And in, like this case with the Aoba, if I notice that their guns are absolutely not pointed at me, I really don't have to worry. Now he's turning his guns at me, so you'll see me zoom out and pull a hard turn and pop my smoke. I'm also cutting my engine. I'm now in the cap and recapping it. and I can't be seen anymore. So I'm going to keep firing my guns and try and get him on fire. Now, lucky blind shot there did actually hit me. And I caught him on fire. Perfect. He can't see me. The Furutaka and the Aoba are very aware of me being in here. They do not want me recapping. But they don't really have much of an option in this case. I am hiding in my smoke. No amount of wishing at this point will make me visible. I do have to keep in mind that that smoke is almost worn out. The Aoba has, for some reason or another, just cut his engines. I would not recommend that tactic. And, oh, look. This is the same destroyer. Jeez, that almost torped me earlier. So he rammed a stationary destroyer, pulled me out of my own smoke, and then shot me with 2 full salvos. Good Lord. You know what? At this point, I don't want anything to do with him. I'm going to get as far away as possible from him. He's obviously an idiot, has no idea what he's doing. He can deal with those cruisers. And there's another Mayhan almost team killing the other Mayhan with his torpedoes. So yes, I need to get far away from these two. These two are just going to get me killed. I lost 1/4 of my health and was put in a very bad situation because those guys were not paying attention. So we're just going to go to this other side. I can see on the minimap that there are all 3 of the remaining battleships over here. There is one more destroyer that's alive. I don't know where he's at, but I do know that those 3 destroyers are very tempting. So hopefully that the enemy destroyer isn't anywhere nearby and I will have free reign. Now, coming up to this fight, keep in mind, again, my detection range is 6 kilometers. My range on my torpedoes is 7 kilometers. Now, if I fire at something that's coming towards me, I can actually fire it before they hit that 7 kilometer mark, and they will close the distance. So, depending on how fast they go, 7.5, maybe even 8 kilometers out, I can safely fire my torpedoes, and it will still be within range of hitting. So I have 2 tier 6s and a tier 5. The Fuso, the tier 6, is extremely hurt. The New Mexico just took a nice shot and he is now at half health. So those are going to be my primary targets. I want to reduce their numbers first before I go after the easy kills. The New York seems to be going nice and slow. As much as I would like to torpedo that New Mexico, the New York is coming towards me. So again, I fired those from 7.2 kilometers. But he's going towards the torpedoes. So the range should be good. And he seems to be moving very slow and in a straight line, which is exactly who I want to fire at. So I did not fan them out. I put them all in a nice tight cluster. And let's see if I can actually get any hits on this guy. Yep, I am. 1, 2, I got 4 torpedo hits. I will take 4. He is almost dead. And by the time he actually did that, my torpedoes are loaded. He has spotted me. I just did a quick little maneuver and now I'm not spotted anymore. So they got a brief glimpse at where I'm at, which is bad because now they have a general idea of where the torpedoes might be coming in from. But with these torpedoes being 58 knots, there's very little he can do to avoid these. So that's going to kill him. No question in my mind. Yep. Alright, 8 seconds for the next salvo. And this is what I was talking about. I love the reload speed on these. You can basically spam these. Fuso is at 6.5 kilometers going towards me, but he's turning. So let me just hold off here for a second. There we go. Now I'll spread them a little bit. He's obviously aware that I'm in the area, and I don't want to lob them all right on top of each other, because if he makes the slightest movement, he will dodge all of them. I'd rather just hit him with 1 or 2. He's very low on health anyhow. His repair may or may not be up. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, great. Killed them. I'll take it. And there is one more Tier 6 New Mexico back there. But if I look at the points, this game is over. So we had a couple examples of battleships going in straight lines and being very dumb about that. But at the same time, we also very much understood what our situation was. Know your ship. I knew exactly what my detection range was and my torpedo range was. I know that my torpedoes are extremely fast and that I have a very fast reload rate. And best of all on this ship, it's considered a premium ship, so you actually get a bonus on all of the silver and experience points that you get from this one. Uh, Overall, pretty good match. 9 torpedo hits. I think I get a couple more here at the end on this New Mexico, but I think you all get the general idea of how this battle went. It was a fun match. I had a pretty decent team with the exception of those 2 Mahans. Wow. Yeah. Well, you can't fix stupid, but you can try and avoid them. Hope you all learned something. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you have any special requests, I'll be more than happy to pull those out. Have a good time all. Have fun.